Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the JustKaffy podcast. And we are in season 2, and we're still talking about being divorced but not defeated. This season really matters to me because I am sharing what I've learned from my experiences as a married woman, as a divorcee, and now I'm a single mom. And the journey through this is something that I wanted to share because I believe that there's a lesson there for everybody out there. Also, not to discourage anybody from getting married. The concept of marriage is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And its impact towards life with people who actually commit to the right way, the kingdom way of approaching it, usually experience a nuclear version of themselves. The uniting of souls is supposed to glorify God and the kingdom of God's purpose on earth. And in two individuals coming together, understanding their individual purposes and aligning together to complement that journey is one of the most beautiful experiences that you can have in the world. And that is the reason why it was formed already. They said God created everything and he saw that it was good. So if it's not good, God will not create marriage. So I know that what is going on out there's a lot of stories of breakup, cheating, betrayal, domestic violence. It's making a lot of people really scared of commitment. Like, people are like, the marriage did not fear me. It's not marriage that is the problem. It's people. People are the problem. And the moment we can actually identify that we need to look at ourselves as individuals and assess ourselves, put like a litmus test to who we really are and what we are made of, before we commit to a journey with somebody else. I think one of the things that people get twisted is you commit to the person more than the purpose. And human beings are heavily flawed. Like, anybody can make mistakes. Anybody can, you're infallible. You're a human being. You are bound to be weak sometimes. However, your attitude towards your behavior with respect to the journey of life is what will determine how well you cope with all of those life challenges, and with a partner that understands that. And don't forget, respect is earned, it's not asked for. You don't demand respect in a relationship. You don't demand faithfulness. Being faithful is a habit that you develop yourself. Being a committed human being is not because somebody loves you more or less. It's something that is a personal decision. So when people talk about love, when people talk about feelings, these things can come and go. Even people that really like themselves and dedicate to themselves can get tired of each other. Not from a place of, I don't want to ever see this person again, but from a place of emotions are like, it's like taking a drug. It wears out. Then you have to be conscious enough to do something to build it back up again. So it's that thing that is like temperature. It rises up and falls. It rises and it falls. It takes a decision of commitment and understanding the value of the journey you have with the person and the value of the person you are with to say, I want to stay true to this. I want to put effort in it, in making sure that this journey, this relationship works. But you don't leave it to emotions. Emotions are very fickle. They are like they said they are a good servant, but they are bad masters. So most of I just wanted to put that out there, that marriage is beautiful, and what you are as a single person is what you are going to be as a married person. Marriage does not automatically create a voodoo, like, oh yeah, now you are married, be good, be faithful, be fantastic, be a great cook. If you are not those things as a single human being, you're not going to be those things as a married person, because we've created this, idea that marriage is like some kind of a miraculous air that happens to a man's heart or a woman's heart. That's why, especially for women, we have these expectations that some red flags we see in a man when we are dating. When he's married, you automatically become a better person, because marriage is an instant fixer of bad habit. No, that's what they call it, habit. Habit is something that is repetitive, that has become part of you, that you do unconsciously or subconsciously. You're just ready to do it. So putting that out there, it is very important for single people to understand that marriage is work. In fact, dating is work. Dating is work. Dating is the phase where you decide, everything, you assess everything, you put everything on the table in order to go to that final place where you go for the journey of life together. So what you are not able to get satisfied with dating, don't carry it into marriage, because it's not the same. It's not a changing railroad. It's just that the destination has been changed, but the railroad is the same. So let's have that at the back of our mind. It is very important for me to help a lot of young women, especially, and men understand the fact that who they are as singles, very, very important. I wish I developed myself as a single person, not seeking love from someone else. Nobody can love you more than you can love yourself. Especially this part of the world, we are not taught like that. We're taught to seek it outside, because that's how we were brought up. Our parents will not just tell you they love you until you've done a good job. We just have a system that validates you externally, and it forces you to go out there and look for love outside yourself. And looking for love outside ourselves is almost like hating God within us, because God is in all of us. And I'm not saying this as someone who has perfectly figured it all out. I'm saying as someone who have experienced life enough to find out that is what happens to us. So, spending the last 6 minutes explaining and giving some kind of context and background to what I have been saying all season, and especially for those that are just joining this train. So today we're talking about letting people go, no matter the relationship. Human beings, we are communal, we are relationship animals. We need to communicate, vibe with each other, and getting some validation of who you are from someone externally outside you. It's not a bad thing. It's depending on it that it's a bad thing. Now, whether it's a romantic relationship, a business relationship, a friendship, or whatever, when these people hurt you, it's going to hurt. When betrayal sets in, it's going to hurt. Or when they do something wrong to you, it might not even be that long thing. It might just be just one situation and you're angry with your friend. It will hurt. But there's a certain level or degree of pain somebody will inflict on you that it's time for them to go. Or some people can just decide that they just want to walk out of your life. One thing I have learned is I'm a people person, and I used to be a very chronic, I'll say used to, because I'm still on the journey of discovery, a very strong people pleaser. And what I found out is that because I love humanity so much, and I love people to love me, and I love to love people, when people misbehave, I don't know how to set boundaries. And when you don't set boundaries, you're setting yourself up for disaster. You're setting yourself up for hurt, for pain, for accessible abuse of who you are, because you not get taken for granted. If you are that kind of person like me, that I'm always willing to, I'm this naturally, I want to be honest and loyal, they'll call you loyalist. Loyalist, that word loyalist, sometimes when we look deep into the context of loyalty, we realize that everything has a timeline, everything has a duration. Loyalty itself has a duration point, because everybody comes to a relationship from a transactional perspective. Transaction doesn't mean that everybody's transacting from a vanity space. Transaction could be, I love to be around this person. This person makes me happy. It's a transaction. You are there because they make them happy. And yes, sometimes you love people for who they are. You just like them. They don't need to do anything with you, for you, by you, before you love them or care about them. But that care you are giving them does something to you. It fulfills you in a way. So it's still a little bit of a transaction, if you get what I mean. So it's not every that transaction is shallow. But I'm saying when people are not getting what they want from you anymore, there's a tendency for their commitment and loyalty to dwindle. Another thing, life happens to people. People change. Money changes people, situation changes people, hurt, pain, trauma, change in work, change in location. Somebody that is your bestie that you always talk to every day, when Lagos moved to England, he's seen a new environment, new kinds of people, new system, new ways of thinking. There's a tendency the person might even detach from you a little bit. You understand? Don't fret if that is happening to you currently. Sometimes people find a way back to reconnect with each other, and sometimes people don't. But in the context of this video, what I want to really dwell on is those that have been hurt, betrayed by people that they really love, whether in a romantic state or a friendship, a situation. And it is a painful journey to be on. However, they say where there's life, there's hope. And where there's will, there's a way. I'll be right back. Okay, so yes, I am back on the topic of letting people go. I know when you are involved with a human being, especially somebody that you have invested time, effort, commitment, love, children, even probably property investment with, and they decide to walk out of your life, either because they did something to you and you had to sever the ties, or they on their own decide to just walk away and not contact you again, or somebody comes to you and tell you, I don't think we are meant to be together anymore. This is one of the most painful and devastating experience for any human being. Any human being. Even if you have a heart of a heartless human being, there will be something important to your life alone enough that when it wants to walk away, you're going to feel really bad and terrible. And one of the several types of pain you feel is you would start to blame yourself. You start to question yourself. You start to second guess yourself. You start to attack yourself first. There's this internal attack that starts the moment such a thing happens. You question why, you wonder when, especially imagine a situation whereby the person cheated on you, you caught them cheating, or you caught them lying, or they were dishonest, or something like that. Usually most betrayal is centered around dishonesty, lying, cheating, and all of that. If this is the case, 90% of the time, the first thing you're thinking about is, where did I go wrong? What did I do wrong? Why did I let this happen? Maybe I should have done something better. Maybe I should have, be more attentive, or, oh God, I should have known. Okay, there were signs, but I didn't read it. Breathe. That's what I'm going to tell you to do. You need to breathe. Whoever wants to cheat wanted to cheat. Whether it's about you or not about you, cheating is a decision. It's a personal decision by the cheater. It's a personal decision by the liar. Not about you. They wanted something else, something somewhere, and they were dishonest to you to get in it. They broke their promise to your relationship. I don't believe that nobody's above. I don't believe that mistakes can happen like that. But the value and integrity of a human being that is meant to be in your life, especially if you're someone that holds in honesty and integrity very high, is important. And if somebody decides that they don't want to be dishonest, you shouldn't be taking the fall for their dishonesty. You shouldn't be taking the fall for their lack of integrity. I'm that kind of person that when somebody hurts me, I question myself so much. I beat myself up. I wonder why, what could I have done better? All I wanted to do was be true. Is truthfulness so that hard to find? Well, I found out late in life that it is hard to find. Honesty is not valued by everybody. And a lot of people take honesty for weakness. You're being honest. It's not a weakness, it's a strength. The one problem that we have is the choice of people that we decide to surround ourselves with, and the boundaries that we set to protect that personality that we are. Now, this doesn't say that people are not going to slip through the crack. You cannot know who is going to hurt you just from the day you met them. Some people are sneaky like that. Some people start up trying to be good and honest. Something happens along the way, but they're not honest enough to communicate with you, and they take the L. They do what pleases them. One thing that you shouldn't do that I did was suffer for somebody else's bad behavior. You understand? So if you are a principled person like I am, who upholds honesty and loyalty, I take it with a lot of passion, you tend to not only question yourself, second guess yourself, you tend to even start making excuses for the person. You understand? You start making excuses for the person. But this person has always been good to me. You start remembering all the good times and all of that. What makes you think that the good times were really the good time? What about if the good time were you trying to see the good in them? And all the while, they were not really as into you as you thought. They were not really as committed from the beginning, but they were also playing a script. What if? There was something my therapist told me that really stuck. And he said, somebody lives your life and they broke your heart, or they were dishonest to you, or they betray you, whether a friend or a romantic relationship. And they were, what do you think? What was the reason why they broke up with you? Or what was the reason why they left you? Or what was the reason why you say you don't want to have anything to do with them again? And let's say you pick something like dishonesty. Okay, so if you reconcile with this person, would you be open to not realizing that they have shown a trait of dishonesty? Would you throw that away? Say, no, a dishonest person is a dishonest person. No matter all the other fanfare characteristics they have, they are loving, they are caring, they are kind, dishonest. They are good to me, they are there for me, they are dishonest. Do you understand? Dishonesty is the problem. Do you really want to be friends with a dishonest person? No. Even if the person comes and says they are sorry and all of that, I think you want to set a boundary for them to earn your trust again. Now, this is where knowing thyself, accepting who you are, and putting yourself in a situation where you heal from the pain quick enough. And when people want to leave, let them go. Letting people go doesn't mean that they're out of your life completely. See, people have come in and out of my life multiple times. I've forgiven some people like 125,000 times. Like, they say the Bible says 77 times, 7 times. Some people 77 times 7 have expired. They keep coming back. You understand? One thing you need to look at it is that, do they keep hurting you when they come back? Do you set boundaries for who they are? Every time they come back, is there a change or there's a repetition of who they are? There's a habit to who they are, and you keep letting them, then you need to check yourself. Because when I found out that some people kept doing the same thing to me, hurt the same way, I started looking at it that way. Why am I accepting this? What am I failing to accept here? Why am I so eager to have someone in my life more than protect my sanity for the fact that being hurt requires a lot of energy for healing? Do I really want to continue to expel that kind of energy to somebody that wants to keep doing that over and over again? You want to question that. You understand? You want to question that. And moving on from that, you also want to look at your own personal perception towards pain, hurt. Why does it, why are you accepting certain things to occur in your life? Why are you giving excuses to, especially when you have some people who gaslight you, like they make it about them. The moment you express or communicate your pain, some people make it about them. They now put you in a position of, maybe if you have done this better, maybe if we did this more, but I already told you that I'm not really sure that I can. It does not give an excuse for them to be dishonest and loyal. Disloyal. It doesn't. It's not an excuse. So it's up to you now to protect yourself from further damage. And when people are meant to go, let them go. See, I had to do playback videos in my head 1 million times to keep telling myself, let them go. Because I'm that kind of person. Somebody does me wrong, I want to reconcile. I can't hold a grudge. You understand? Somebody told me recently that, you look younger than your age. And he said, look, one of the things that make us look younger than our age is purity of heart. When you don't hold grudges, when you keep your heart clean. Like, how do somebody go to bed sometimes and they have argument with people and 2, 3, 4, 5 days they have no settle? That person in life, do not stone, because I don't know how people do it. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's just beautiful for life to go through phase and just let things go. Like, just let things be. But unfortunately, we're all built differently. Sometimes the reason why the person can't face you is because they're also tormenting themselves for what they did. That's another thing that you need to realize. You might find out that the person that betrayed you stopped calling, stopped talking to you, or somebody just one day ghosted you. All of a sudden, what did you do? They just ghosted you. Whether you did something right or wrong, they just stopped picking your calls. Sometimes it's about them. In fact, not sometimes. Most times it's about them, not about you. So I learned that late because everything that happens to me in my life, I think it's me first. Me. I must be the problem. It has to be me. Maybe I should have done this better. But I was only trying to love. His love was supposed to be too much. Is there supposed to be a gauge to love? Hey, how did I do this? Oh my God. Bang. Before you know it, you start turning crazy. Before you know it. But the key important thing is reevaluation. Sometimes God needs your attention. And when He does, see that something has taken your mind more than the time you spend with Him, which is the time you should spend with you. He will step in and pull it out. So sometimes let that arrow go and come out. Because a lot of poison is coming out with that. And it's a protection for your soul. I'll be right back. Yes, so I'm back. So we're talking about letting people go. People come and go in your life. Don't hold on to people. The only element in this world that does not disappoint is God, as far as I'm concerned. As long as human beings, they're going to one day. Even good people like me, I hurt people too. Might not be intentional. You understand me? And for me, when the moment I know that I don't mess up, I'm coming for reconciliation almost immediately. Some people want the reconciliation. Some don't. Some brood for a while and come back and go, I don't hear you now. We can now be friends. Whatever the case may be, I'm not the type to know that I've wronged you and not try to right the wrong. but not everybody has that capacity. Sometimes because they are not as brave as you are. It takes a lot of courage to own up to bad things. A lot of courage, bad habit, bad behavior. Some people don't have that courage because they can't face the shame. They have this personal self-shame, and it comes from pride, ego. So when you look at pride and ego, hey, it can blind. And it can blind so much that you'll be wondering, why in the world would somebody be this wicked to know that they've done this much bad and are not ready to say they are sorry? For you, the victim of the betrayal, prepare your mind. You might never get a sorry. Might never get a sorry. So you should try to heal and forgive yourself whether or not the person comes to say sorry. Because you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you. Your life cannot be on a full stop because somebody else decided to go on the cruise control. Don't. They are living their life. If anything have happened to you, you have buy. Like I said in my last post, they will do candlelight. That's if there are plenty like that will remember to do candlelight in this also mood the world is right now. They might do candlelight for you. Worst case, one post. Those that really love you will post once a year about your life. That's the end. Your life cannot come and waste. God did not bring you here because of husband. Now he did not bring you here because of boyfriend. He didn't bring you in this world only to come and make friends with people and make people feel like you're a good person. He brought you here to fulfill your part in the whole game of the universe. You have a part to play in the world as it is for you as a singular human being. Not until you join with somebody do you become important. Living your life is important to God. Because every soul is important to God, which is the reason why God wants our salvation in the first place. That means that all of us matter. Even the person that annoys you matters to God. Sometimes he puts everybody through their own process. So the person that hurt you, if you believe in the law of karma, for instance, karma happens to everybody. What is karma? It's a realization of the consequences of your action. You're going to get there. Some people will see the consequence of the action, get to a place of reflection, and still go ahead and continue to be bad. You can't change that. Some people get to the place of reflection, get to the realization, and be remorseful and decide to do what? Change. Some people will change, be remorseful, and trace back their steps to say sorry. Some people will be changed, remorseful, and can't come back and face their shame. They will go forward. But if you meet them somewhere along the line, you see that they are changed people. They might at that moment probably apologize or try to be friends with you, but it's not everybody, even when they become good people later, that will come back to you to say they are sorry. That will come back to you to say, you need to practice understanding the fact that when people want to go, let them go. So I'm going as temporary go. I have plenty temporary go. I have many people that have offended me who go, they'll carry their two legs and come back again and say, I'm sorry. I'm like, no problem. Go, come back again. I'm sorry. People come and go. People come and go. And some people will go and go forever. Some people will go for years. One thing I've learned, I've met someone, a certain period of his life where we did a short transaction and I was like, this person has a very bad attitude. Wow. Thank God it's not more than, work, do your job and go. But after 2 or 3 years, I met the person again, completely changed person. Different perspective to life, takes life more seriously, and I became closer to the person then, the changed version, than the one before. So sometimes the person that you are dealing with now needs to get out of your life before it destroys it for you. And when God pushes people out, sometimes it's separation. He wants to separate you for a cause. And you cannot get to a place of evolution when there are so many people involved. No. That place where you are becoming, there are moments in life you don't become in front of people. You become before you and God. I have felt that. And I know that some of you are experiencing that lonely moment now. You are not alone. You are not alone. God is separating you for a reason. There's a reason to your season. They are also on their journey for a reason. You could even be their lesson. Do you know that? Being such a valuable human being and somebody else comes to betray you and you are able to sever the relationship and they've gone away from your life begins their own journey of realization because they'll go out there and they won't see that kind of quality human being out there. Good people are harder to find nowadays. Some people are good, but they are heavily traumatized and heavily toxic. And they bleed on themselves and people around them. Do you understand that? So we all should allow our processes. I have been allowing my process. Being out of a marriage of 9 years has its toll it plays on you. There are certain things I need to deal with. An amazing guy that I want to be in love with cannot come to me broken and bleeding. You understand? Or half-assed healed. They need to be complete. As I want them to be complete, I need to be complete for them. God is not going to bring any of his good son or daughter to you while you are not yet the kind of son or daughter you need to be for that person. He's not going to allow you to attract them. So for you to attract what you desire, you need to start learning to become that desirable element. And I'm saying all of these things from what I've told myself. And I've seen the journey become lighter. You are not worthless. Don't tell yourself that. It will play in your head. It will come. Push it out. Okay? Push it out. Why do you want someone that doesn't want you? Okay. He doesn't want to date you anymore. And you have now find a way to force him to say yes. 2 weeks after, you will still do something again that you know wish you did not reconcile. Maybe you patch it up again 1 month after. If people want to go and they're giving signs that they want to go, let them go. Sometimes it's for their personal level. They need to discover something. Sometimes if people don't miss you, they don't know your value. If you are that person that is valuable, I'm not talking about somebody that is doing a low shop and at the place who I say, you have missed me. Hey, the guy said, after I've knocked all I've lied the place, I do it bars boss. Hey, the guy have not even called. Auntie, my advice is not for you. Find Jesus first. Okay? So, what I'm saying is, and another thing you need to look at it is that one of the things I looked at, especially for my marriage, is this. That look, whatever you put on the foundation of sand, it's not going to last. Question the foundation of your relationship. You can't expect to snatch your best friend's man and expect to have a fantastic relationship with that man. You can't expect to snatch somebody's woman or husband and I expect that God, you now go to mountain of fire to pray to God to keep that man for you, to keep that man for you. My way, thief. Do you understand? You as a single lady, like I was a single lady, I had sex before marriage. You understand? I defiled some of the principles of the kingdom and I expect a kingdom result? No. Even if both of you have erred in your in coming together, there's a part that requires both of you to equally say, we need to do this right by God. One person cannot want to do it right by God and the other person say, that's the way we are doing it. At least we have now married. My dear, it's going to haunt you. All that have sex before marriage, but you ended up still marrying each other does not eradicate the fact that the kingdom principle was broken. So you still need to rectify that and reconcile with God, with that, both of you together, so that you can get that forgiveness, you can get that retracing of path together. Some of the relationship that we are crying about, that we've lost, or friendship we've lost, the foundation of its molding itself. If all of us carry ourselves in front of God, now the two party are at fault. Because God will say, okay, did you consult me before you decided to date this person? No? Good. But you have knocked yourself. Yes. Now you have leave you and go, or she have leave you and go. Yes. So I don't understand. So he's not a bad person now. You forgot the bad you did. That as a child of God, there's certain principles you do not break, but you've broken those principles. So there are a lot of teachings out there that tells you to wait, know yourselves before you do this and all of that. It's all for your own protection. Don't fall into the trap of the pressure of the world and the culture and the cruise control world that we are in. Don't forget that we are still in a world that God is in charge of. The world, as in the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. So we cannot come and break kingdom principles and expect miraculous outcomes. See you next time.